everybody. This is Jenny Cutraro from Science Storytellers, and I'm also one of the new residents at the STEM Advocacy Institute. Science Storytellers is a public engagement program that I launched in 2017 at the AAAS family meeting with the support of the Borough's Welcome Fund and a small army of volunteers. In a nutshell, Science Storytellers is a program that gives kids a chance to interview scientists in the same way that professional journalists do. They ask questions, they really engage in a conversation, and at the end of their conversation/interview that they're doing together, they start to map out a story that they might tell from their conversation. And this is where STEM Advocacy Institute comes in. Since joining as a resident last fall, I've worked with Faniel to develop the idea for my residency project, which is to reboot Science Storytellers and to package it as an event that can be run by anybody once trained at events ranging from science festivals to museums to community events, faith communities, farmers markets. I'd really love to see this getting out to the public and beyond the scope of the already science interested public. So to get started with this, Faniel encouraged me to develop a logic model, which I had not heard of prior to joining STEM Advocacy Institute. And so he was very helpful in my development of that logic model in the fall, as well as a diagram that walks you through kind of a run of show and what happens at the Science Storytellers booth from the beginning of a kid's experience to the end, and also for a scientist and how they are operating at the booth. In addition to doing that, Faniel encouraged me to start thinking about places where I could run the program in just a smaller setting to start getting some new eyeballs on it and some new participants. And I have two potential venues coming up in the fall. One of them is a local after-school program. I have been in touch with them about developing Science Storytellers either as a one-time event or possibly as a multi-week program for kids to develop, for kids to interview scientists, and then in the end to develop a publication, a short magazine or something like that they could create and share with others. I'm also in talks with a neuroscientist at Harvard who works with teens, and she is very interested in bringing Science Storytellers to the youth that she works with in the city of Boston and working with her colleagues. And those conversations have just started, and I'll look forward to updating you all on that maybe in another couple of weeks or months and see where that goes.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kilan Ashad-Bishop. I am a California-born but currently Miami-based scientist, as well as the co-founder and executive director of STEMNOIRE. STEMNOIRE is a first-of-its-kind research and holistic wellness community for Black women or women of the African diaspora in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, often abbreviated as STEM. As an organization, since the beginning of my SAI fellowship, we've made some organizational strides, which include actually doubling the membership in our STEMNOIRE app, which is a custom STEMNOIRE specific application where our global community can connect, network, and share resources. We've adopted a new format for our year-round program, which is called Wellness Wednesday, hosted in collaboration with the Research Her, where we have invited Black women experts in various fields of scientific endeavor and wellness, spanning everything from personal well-being to finance, to present and share their knowledge with our community once a month. We have also been gearing up to meet for the first time in person for our STEMNOIRE annual conference. So we have had a few in-person events, our STEMNOIRE socials, one in Dallas, Texas, and one in Washington, D.C. But this will be the first time that as a community we're able to share space and program in person, hear about our community's research in person, present awards in person. We're very, very excited. STEMNOIRE 2023 is going to be held from June 22nd to 25th in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We have met 65% of our registration goal, and we have 2 months over 2 months until our event. So we're very, very excited. In collaboration with our sponsor, Ginkgo Bioworks, we have a phenomenal program. We've curated a phenomenal program with experts from academia, from industry, from business, and from the nonprofit and advocacy sector, to make sure that a wide breadth of career possibilities and professional and personal development opportunities are able to be taken advantage of by our attendees. Through the remainder of my SAI fellowship, I intend to focus my efforts on building up the STEMNOIRE app so that we can use it as an avenue to assess the interests of our community and funnel them to the appropriate support systems. For example, at our STEMNOIRE 2023 conference, we are going to be having collaboration chats, and one of our collaboration chats actually focuses on science communication and outreach. We are excited to start that conversation in person and then funnel those folks with that stated interest to a particular feature in the app where they will be able to learn about funding opportunities, collaboration opportunities, and ongoings and happenings and such and so forth that they may want to take advantage of, or they may just be curious about and come to us with questions and we can funnel them to the appropriate party.
Hi, I'm Justin Yarrow. I'm the founder of the MPO Codemakers and the creator of Superscientists. I'll be telling you a bit about the Superscientists project that we've been running since 2019, and then specifically the work that we propose to do with the STEM Advocacy Institute. So Superscientists came out of work that we were doing with young people where we were teaching creative coding, animation, a bit of robotics. And I'm a scientist by training, a PhD scientist, and so I wanted young people to better understand scientists in South Africa. And I realized that what we needed to do was to think more about the type of media that the kids that we work with already consume. And that media is really around characters. It's around the characters that they see in movies and TV and cartoons. It's the characters that they see as the heroes of entertainers and sports people. But when you think really about how STEM education is conducted, at least in South Africa, there's a big disconnection between the people that do science and the content of what's taught. You don't learn about contemporary scientists, and so they don't make that connection. And we found that this is true when we asked young people to name a scientist. They would say Albert Einstein, or they would really have no answer. So we wanted to change that. What we came up with is Superscientists, where we're drawing scientists as real superheroes. And it's not just scientists, but also science champions. So people that are documentary filmmakers, science communicators, policy experts. We've done a few of those. We'd like to do more. So because of the success that we've had to date and the interest from a number of different countries to have Superscientists made, we decided that we would try to launch in the US. I'm from the US, but I've been living in South Africa for more than 15 years. And we've had actually a number of teachers that have asked for our materials that are in the US, and a sizable portion of our web traffic is also from there. So that was the idea that we proposed to Fanuel, and it's coming along slowly but surely. The comic that we were making and the science exhibit that we were making had a number of delays, but we're now on firm footing to start making US-based Superscientists, and we just reached out to a group of people that had previously expressed interest and have a few candidates already that we hope to draw, and then we're hoping that we can partner with at least one organization so that we can have a mechanism for delivery of the Superscientists that we make, and be able to get some feedback from a STEM education organization and really, hone the project.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Melanie Peffer. I am the author of Biology Everywhere, How the Science of Life Matters to Everyday Life, and also the author of On the River, which is part of the Biology Adventurers series. It's a spin-off of Biology Everywhere. So my residency project came about because of Biology Everywhere. And so I wrote Biology Everywhere because of my observation of how many people just don't like science. They have these bad classroom experiences, they see kind of the cultural stereotypes in society, and it just really turns them off. And the problem is that we all have to engage with science. It's not something that's optional. And so what I've been trying to do with Biology Everywhere for the last couple of years is to find a way to create what I call safe gateways to curiosity. So a lot of people, they won't seek out science activities or science festivals, or if they're at a big festival and there's a science table set up, they'll usually skip it because they have these negative associations with biology or with other branches of science. And so I'm trying to get people to re-engage through helping them see biology as part of their daily lives. So this relatable thing instead of this scary thing. Okay, so one of the problems I've run into over the last couple of years that forms the foundation of the project that I worked on during my residency is accessibility to Biology Everywhere content. So I'm trying to reach a population of people who does not want to be reached. And so I've been trying to brainstorm ways to increase that accessibility. So that was my goal, was to create new avenues for impact, a way to have this Biology Everywhere movement, as Vanuel likes to say. And so the two ways that I wanted to focus on doing that is make it easier for teachers to obtain teaching materials related to Biology Everywhere, information on how I teach with this Biology Everywhere philosophy or mindset. And I also want to make it easier for the general public to find my content and be able to engage with my content. I've been doing that predominantly on social media. The problem is with social media algorithms is that a lot of my content gets buried. So I needed a better solution. So the solution that I've proposed is building a new centralized website. To that end, I'll talk about the website more in a minute. And I've also continued to do outreach into the community. So during the residency period, one thing that I did to outreach and help spread the Biology Everywhere message was that I gave a webinar, an invited webinar to the American Chemical Society's 2-year chemistry consortium webinar. So that was all professors who teach chemistry at 2-year colleges. And so although it's Biology Everywhere, I spent a lot of that seminar talking about how these principles apply to chemistry. And we had a great discussion afterwards, thinking about how to make general chemistry more accessible for people as well. Another thing that I did was that I went out to the local STEM Academy. It's a K-8 school for their career day. And this was just truly an incredible experience, and one that was very eye-opening, especially when I think about the Biology Everywhere project and why to persist in it.